after Old Shatterhand, I wasn't expecting much more from these kind of films, but what I found in what seems to be the sequel, Winnetou and Shatterhand in the Valley of Death, turned out to be something a hell of a lot more fun. Now, to be honest, I haven't really seen too many German westerns, Son of the Great Bear, Old Shatterhand, and while I enjoyed them, they didn't exactly come away expecting great things from the series. Entertaining, yes, but this one may have won me over a little bit more, and it probably made me a more enjoyable experience here, because this ended up grabbing me a lot more than I expected it to do.
Der Schlüssel, wo das Gold versteckt ist, Winnetou wird es.
Winnetou wird das Geheimnis hüten, bis man ihn ruft.
And the setup here is incredibly straightforward. You get Winnetou, you get Old Shatterhand caught up in a story involving hidden treasure, questionable allies, and a race to get to the gold before everyone else. It is a familiar story, but it's really pulpy. It's really specific to this kind of era, and it really gives the movie the urgency that maybe wasn't there in the Old Shatterhand that I watched previously. There is always something happening in this film, whether it be a standoff, a shootout, characters shifting alliances. It never feels like it's dragging. Old Shatterhand was a 2-hour movie. This was 90 minutes, and that condensed runtime helped it really kind of move forward, and it felt a lot more fun and free because of that. Now, the central duo here works incredibly well together. There is a real ease to the characters of Winnetou and Old Shatterhand now. It's less about establishing who they are and more about watching them operate together. We've seen them kind of coexist within Old Shatterhand, and jumping straight into this, you know who they are.
Das ist Winnetou, der Häuptling der Apachen.
Around about them, you get the usual kind of mix of villains and opportunistic people who are chasing the same goal, but for vastly different reasons. And they're not especially deep characters, but they don't have to be. They just get the job done. You know exactly where everyone stands, and that clarity helps move the film along at a really great pace. As I said in Old Shatterhand, the look of the film is very similar here. It really comes into its own. You know, it's got the landscapes that are doing a lot of the heavy lifting. It's wide, it's open, it's cinematic, and it's got that proper Western scope. Even though the film sits firmly in that Euro-Western space, it feels like the Wild West. It feels like the movies of America that were really comfortable, and there is something really clean about how it's shot. You always know where you are, you always know the geography, you always know what's happening and who's where, and honestly, it's something a lot of modern films really struggle with. This just feels like a proper adventure film.
Alle Bleichgesichter sind Banditen. Daher haben die Sioux gegen sie das Kriegsbeil ausgegraben.
Again, not to say that it's perfect, you know, it's got this strong pacing, it's got great use of locations and scale, the central duo has a good bit of chemistry, and it feels like a genuine old school adventure. It's an easy watch, the kind of film you put on, sit back and enjoy without any kind of effort whatsoever. That being said, it follows a formula, and it sticks to it pretty strictly. Even coming in with the limited experience of the German westerns, which I have here, you recognise the structure very quickly. Treasure, betrayal, standoff, shootout. It's all there, and it's not doing anything wildly new. What it does do, it does well.
Halte die Augen auf! Ihr wimmelt's ja voll Schnapp! Hey! 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 Hey!
Some of the supporting characters are really good. Most of them are incredibly thin, but they serve the story. They don't really stick with you afterwards, and you don't really need them to. The ones that hang about are the ones that have a little bit more purpose, a little bit more urgency, and delve into the story a bit more. This is stripped back from, say, Old Shatterhand, where it doesn't have the large fort or the vast amount of extras. It feels a little bit more condensed, but still within that Wild West space, and it still gives you a rip-roaring adventure, a race against time, against duplicitous bad guys who just want to get to the gold, and everybody's chasing that one target. There are some standout sequences that are fun, like the action set pieces, the shootouts are great. There is a moment that is just wild, and I don't think it's a particularly good sequence, but man, I enjoyed the hell out of it. Where the good guys have to travel through a valley of snakes pretty much, but they have something to repel the snakes. The bad guys do not, and there is a full-on snake attack, which, does it make sense? No. But was it enjoyable? Absolutely. There was something just fun and different about it that it put a smile on my face. The sheer ridiculousness of it didn't matter at the time. I really enjoyed this one. We already covered the extras that were on the same disc as Old Shatterhand, so we don't need to look into the disc this time. What I will say is that for me, this worked as both a continuation of the previous story and as a standalone film, even without a deeper knowledge of if there is a series with these two characters, if there was more films. I kind of wish this was a set that had multiple of these, because I would have easily jumped into them, and that's the biggest compliment I can give this one. It doesn't feel like you need to do homework. You can just stick on the film and just enjoy it for what it is. You get exactly what is there. If, like me, you've dipped into these German westerns before and you're a little bit unsure and you like American westerns, I'm already 2 films into this 7-film set, and I would say definitely pick up. It's a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to see what the other ones hold, if we're moving into different characters, if any of these characters would appear again, which I really wish they would, but I don't know. I'll find out when I get there. But for me, what did you think of Winnetou and Shatterhand in the Valley of Death? Let me know in the comment box below your thoughts. As always, there is more content up here. You can see more of my stuff in the description box, or links to Patreon, membership program, mandyfilm.com, always in which you can support me. Thanks for watching. See you next time.